Hello, you guys. Have you guys ever took a visit to downtown Fullerton on Harbor Boulevard, and just no matter if you're stuck in traffic or walking around, you guys just take in the beautiful ambiance or the beautiful visuals and stuff, all the cherry blossom trees, and then once you get done with downtown, you pass Chapman Avenue and look to your right. What do you see? A great historic building that you guys never even knew was historic in the first place. And I'm not talking about the Fox Theater. I am talking about Angela's and Michi's Italian Restaurante, owned by Cynthia Peck. This is an Italian restaurant, a sit-down Italian restaurant, so if you guys want to bring your dates, go right ahead, I'll serve you guys. This is an Italian restaurant opened up in 1971. Right, today I'm going to try my best to describe to you the history of the place, what you could get there, all the different various banquet rooms that we have, and its future plans. Alright, so before Angelo's was Angelo's, Stephen Peck, the Hollywood actor, dancer, choreographer, first started to decide that he wanted to open up a dancing studio in Los Angeles. This dancing studio didn't have a long life. It started in the 1960s, and then one day, Cynthia, I don't know her maiden name, but Cynthia Peck went in because she loved dancing on her free time. She knew how credible Stephen Peck was, so she decided to go to one of his dancing lessons. So she was in the dancing studio, stretching with all these different ladies, and then all of a sudden, they look back and they see the absolutely great Stephen Peck just walking in, and then they go along with the lesson and everything, and then everyone's done packing up their shoes and everything, and then Stephen Peck comes up to Cynthia Peck and says, "Hey, I think your pirouette looks kind of bad. You want to come for some private lessons?" And then boom, right then and there, they were hooked, and they hit it off. Right after the dance studio, Cynthia Peck and Stephen Peck got married, and Stephen wanted to decide he wanted to open up a restaurant with his new sweetheart. So this restaurant first opened up in the Fox Theater in 1971, and the LA Times actually said that first it opened up on the stage. So before the events would happen on the Fox Theater, you were able to go up on stage and order whatever you wanted. And it was also open after hours. So, what can you get at Angela's and Michi's? Well, first when you walk in, I'm sorry. And actually after the 70s and the 80s, the Fox Theater lease ran out, so they didn't know where to go. Their search was long after a couple of years, and then they decided to move right next door. In my opinion, this was a great big upgrade because they have 3 floors now, 3 huge banquet rooms, and bars in every single room in the restaurant. But LA Times wasn't really too fond of this. They said that it was the most horrible, most bizarre-looking restaurant in all of Orange County. What you could get at Angela's and Michi's is very bizarre. First, you are greeted by a host and are sat down at a table, and what seems to be a big, huge Bible of a menu. I mean, this menu is about 7 pages long, and it varies. You can get your basic lasagna, spaghetti and meatballs, pasta alfredo, or you could get, if you want alfredo on your pizza, go right ahead. If you want lasagna ingredients on your pizza, go right ahead. If you want raisins, pine nuts, pasta and roast beef all in one dish, no problem, just order the rollatini. Boom, right? Now, I said that it does have 3 banquet rooms, and these banquet rooms could be used for weddings, birthday parties, receptions, celebrations of lives, and they all vary in size. The Venetian, largest one at 190 people. The Sicilian room, which also has a second story, which can hold to about 110 people, and the Romeo and Juliet room, the smallest room, which could hold to about 80 people. Our guests are not limited to a specific menu for these events. They can choose their own buffet, so about chicken marsala, lasagna, pasta alfredo, stuff like that. And they are given the choice whether if they want a DJ, a host to run their event for them, or a bartender. Future ideas for Angelo's includes expanding the menu even more to even more bizarre foods, and actually rumored to be opening up a new location in Los Angeles. So, whenever you guys want, are hungry or anything, don't eat at McDonald's or anything. Eat at Angelo's. I promise you guys won't be disappointed. You won't be disappointed. And there you go. Thank you. The mouth's so dry. Over 6. I'm not kidding you. I can see that drive. Did I do that? Can someone come again? My oral evaluation.
Yeah, we're hang on a second. We're getting there. You want to go up and get set up? That's perfectly fine. Just put on the picture mute so we don't have to see your brand new password. All right.
There's a video I'm supposed to show you.
So Sarah, what did you think?
Okay. I thought your purpose statement was super clear and like it outlined everything really well. And then there's a lot of good information about the history of the restaurant, and you had good sources there, like daily times and stuff, or whatever it is. And then it's obvious you know a lot about the topic because you could just like say stuff on the menu or whatever, like the different options that they gave. So it wasn't like you were just trying to figure out what to say. There were good visuals, and there wasn't anything just like out of the ordinary. Like everything was good and good timing for everything. You probably could practice it a little bit more.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, like her maiden last name or something like that. But overall, I thought it was really good, and you just told everyone except they would have never known about it.
Okay. I like the attention device, and I thought the topic was clearly identified. I don't think your preview was very clear. Excuse me, your purpose statement was very clear. I know what the subject is, but not exactly why we're talking about this or what it is you try to accomplish by the end of the speech. However, you did have a very clear preview of what the structure was going to be in the presentation. That structure was clear at the beginning. In the body of the speech, I think you needed a little bit more specific signposts as you got to those individual points, but it was not disorganized. It was relatively easy to follow. The information that you had, I thought was interesting. It was not always clear to me where the information came from. I assumed that some of it's firsthand information that you got from the owners that you apparently work for. So there's some of that, and I think you want to make a reference to that kind of thing. You did refer to the LA Times articles and reviews. There was one quote, I forget exactly what it was, where they referred to the restaurant as weird or ugly or something else like that, and bizarre. That was it, and I didn't really know why. I mean, I know because I've been there, but I'm not sure anybody else would know because that seemed to be one of the things that was missing from the visuals that you had there. You showed the banquet rooms and you didn't show all the stuff that makes it a bizarre, unusual, kind of context or circumstance for people to eat. So I think you missed an opportunity there. Also, your picture of the food, man, the lighting on that was bad. I could hardly tell. I mean, it looked like it was some kind of pasta, and there was maybe tomato sauce. But come on, you could have taken something from their online menu and used that. It looked like you took a picture with the lighting in the restaurant that was bad, didn't put on the flash, and I couldn't tell what it was that you were showing us. So that was something that was a little bit problematic. By the way, that sounds really critical, like I'm jumping all over you.
Yeah, I know. It's fine. It's fine.
No, no,
I understand.
that's, for the most part, I thought your visuals were fine. Like I said, that's the one thing that stood out. I thought you had a nice picture of the building at the beginning. You had a lovely picture of the couple there that you're talking about. The pictures of the 3 banquet rooms were fine. You know, they were relatively small, but you're showing them all at the same time, and that's really kind of a side issue. But like I said, the food thing, it was like, that was the one, it stood out like a sore thumb. That's why it gets mentioned here in that situation. And I think you probably know you needed to perhaps practice a little bit more. You know the material. That's one of the disadvantages when you know the material really well. You feel like I can do this in my head. I don't have to, go through it repeatedly and turn it into something that's mechanical. But you do want to be a little bit more efficient about getting through things. We're not heavily emphasizing delivery issues, but there are a couple of things that you probably will notice when you watch your video that I will mention briefly. You got nervous feet, and you sometimes decide, can't decide what to do with your hands. So, okay, thank you.